Welcome back to Adulting in the Kitchen with Lady Lillykins. I am now going to show you how to make mashed potatoes. This is my potato masher. I prefer the zigzag shape. For me, it's just easier to use. I'm going to use this directly in my pan because I know that my pan is safe to use metal utensils on. If your pan is not metal utensil safe, then you want to make sure you put it in a plastic bowl, or a glass bowl would work better, or some kind of bowl where you're not going to ruin your pan. So what we're going to do, and I like to put my pan back on the stove because I have an electric stove and the heat will keep it warm enough to help melt my butter. You're definitely going to want to put butter in it if you like butter. If not, then you don't have to put butter in it. You're going to need some kind of cream base to it, and what you use is just it's gonna depend on you. You can use cream, you can use like heavy whipping cream, you can use milk, you can use sour cream, you can use yogurt, whatever you want to use. It doesn't matter, and you don't need a whole lot, just enough to help make it creamy. So what we're going to do, before I add my cream, I'm going to start mashing my potatoes. So all you're going to do is you're going to hang on to your masher, hold on to your handle, and just press down and swivel back and forth. And this will start mashing your potatoes. And you can do this for however long, however mashed you want them. And you're going to see that this method leaves you with chunks of potatoes. So if you wanted to, if you didn't want to add a cream base, you really you don't have to. It's completely up to you. But this type of tomato or potato, if you use red potatoes, it works better without a base, without some kind of a cream. But when you're using like just white russet potatoes, you can see how they're kind of dry and flaky. So you want some kind of a cream base. So you're just going to, what we're doing here is you're just going to take and you're going to scrape down. You're going to take your masher and you're just going to mash down. And once you get the bigger chunks mashed, it becomes a lot easier. And the reason I like this one is because this and this contours to the side of my pan rather easily. So I can use it and kind of do one of these, put it on the bottom, scrape the edges, make sure I get all my potatoes. So they look okay. I'm going to want a cream base, so I'm going to take some, and I'd start with maybe try 1/8 of a cup. I usually eyeball it, so I'm just going to put just a little bit in, just like that. See how that works. You can always add more, but you can't take it out. I'm just going to keep mashing. I'm going to add some more butter because I love butter. I can never have too much butter in my mashed potatoes. And you can add seasonings and spices to this too if you wanted to. You don't have to leave it plain. You can, it's up to you, whatever you want to eat. You can add bacon bits, make it a loaded mashed potato kind of thing. Add bacon bits, add some cheese, some onions if you wanted. Okay, that's still a little dry. So I'm going to add some more milk. And just keep mashing it until I get it to the consistency that I want. And it's looking pretty good. And you can salt and pepper it to taste, or whatever kind of spices that you like. I have a really good bourbon molasses seasoning that I like to use in just about everything, but I'm not going to use that today. I'm just going to do plain old mashed potatoes with salt. I don't use pepper, so I very rarely pepper anything. So that looks like a good consistency to me. If you like thick mashed potatoes, you can leave it this way. If you want thinner, you can add more cream. If you want to add sour cream, you can. It would thin them out a little bit and make it a little thinner. I'll show you what I mean. Just add a little more milk and make it a little thinner. It just depends on how you like your mashed potatoes. You can do it any way you want. You can leave them in chunks. You can eat just the cubes, or you can mash it. But this is not. It's not as difficult. When I was growing up, I thought mashing potatoes. Everybody made it sound like, oh, it was such a big deal because there was so much work. Seriously, mashing it with a masher is one of the easiest things and so much quicker than having to get your hand blender out. And see here, you can see it got a little creamier. So the consistency you want, you just keep mashing, keep adding some milk or some kind of a cream base until you get it to how you like it. And there we go. Yummy mashed potatoes.